So let me just start off by saying, I've been saying for a long time I'm going to do a boxing show. This isn't the boxing show, but I'm going to do one. I was going to do it on the Beat London, because that's the radio station that I'm on. If you want to tune in, you can. Every single Friday from 7 p.m, brand new music, all the new releases. So as I'm here on the Beat London, and it was a boxing show, I was going to call the show Beatboxing. But I don't think that's going to happen. And I might just put it on my own YouTube channel. This is going to be like a quick tester. I'm going to throw this on the YouTube channel, see how it works. See if anyone resonates with it, if they like it, if they don't like it. Feel free to leave comments. Please be easy, but we'll see what happens. But I want to talk about this fight this weekend. Chris Eubank Jr. and Benn. When it was first announced all those years ago, I was like, yeah, whatever. You know when you say, oh, I don't really care for it. Was it 2-3 years ago? I was like, yeah, but I knew I'd be watching. Then we had the drama with the drugs. It never happened. Benn did what he did. Now, I want to say this. I do not know Benn. Never met him. Never been in the same room as him. But everything I see from Benn, in the way that he acts, I do think the aggression is a bit of an act, to be honest with you. But, again, I don't know him. But it seems like that's his boxing personality. And it works. Whenever I see him behave on TVs, interviews, whatever it might be, he gives me the impression of someone who is honest and fair. I don't see him as a drug cheat. You can say that about anybody. Every time you see people on the news for committing M's and R's and they speak to the neighbours, they'll be like, oh, I can't believe it. George, he was so quiet. You will see that. So you never know. Nothing about him says drug cheat. Since the fight has been re-announced, I have said that my pick for the win is Benn. Now, people were saying, oh, how can it be Benn? Chris Eubank's much bigger, whatever. It's not the size. I've got to think about the weight. Now, I know Chris has fought at middleweight the majority of times, but still, there's something about it. Do you remember when he had to boil himself down to 157? He didn't even get down to 157. I think when he weighed himself, he was 159, and he looked tight at the weight. He started showing off, took a picture of himself hitting the weight for 157, but he didn't. He was at 159. Anyway, let's get past that. So I know he's going to be struggling to get down to 160. We also know about the rehydration clause. So if you're not sure what that is, he can only come into the fight 10 pounds overweight. Normally, if you don't already know, you weigh in the day before the fight, and that's your weigh in. If you put on 17 stone afterwards, which obviously you won't, it is what it is. But for this fight, with IBF rules, they've said you can only come in no more than 10 pounds overweight. I'd imagine, and I don't know, I'd imagine that Chris Eubank comes in over 10 pounds over the weight limit when he gets into the ring. On the Friday, he'll weigh in at, let's say, 12 stone. He might be 13 stone or more on the day of the fight. I don't know the numbers. I'm just assuming. I'm pretty sure I'll be right though. So with this limit, he's also going to struggle. Now, I'm going to say this. In my head, and we all know there's going to be a fine, he's going to come in and he's going to weigh in at the correct weight, just about. It's going to be tight, but he's going to make it. He made 159 before. He'll make the 160. He'll do it. But then I reckon he'll take the fine and come in overweight for the weigh-in on the day. So as it's going to work, you get the weigh-in on the Friday, and then there'll be another weigh-in on the day of the fight, just to make sure that you're not over the 10 pounds. And I reckon at that point, he'll come in overweight. He'll get a fine. He'll be like, you know what? I'll take the fine. If he comes in overweight, one or two things will happen. They'll either cancel the fight or they'll fine him and the fight continues. Now, at that point, they're not going to cancel the fight. Or secondly, he doesn't come in overweight and everything's okay. I can't see that happening. So with all that going on, I think with the struggle of the weight, Benn wins. If Chris Eubank makes weight on the Friday and then makes weight again on the Saturday, on the day of the fight, Benn wins this fight. Now, if he comes in overweight on the day of the fight, you never know. So I've said the whole time, I think Benn's going to win, but I want to see what happens with the weighting. It turns out that Chris Eubank has missed weight by 0.05 pounds. That's the same weight Apparently that's the same weight as a bag of crisps. It says 80 grams here. I don't know what the conversion is. I saw Mr. Davis talk about it. He said a bag of crisps. Johnny Nelson said a battery. It's minimal. That tells me that he tried to make weight. To get a £350,000 fine for 0.05 pounds, you tried to make weight. He is struggling. Now, when it comes to the check weight, is it a check weight from the original agreed weight, £10 over that, or is it now a check weight for £10 over what you weighed in? I'm assuming it's a check weight and no more than £10 over what the agreed weight, which means that he's now, he'll make it, but he can't afford to do what I thought he was going to do, which now makes it more interesting. So I'm still wavering towards Conor Benn. But yesterday I was wavering towards Chris Eubank, only because Nigel Benn is coming out of all these gym stories about how Conor Benn was beating up Skull and this, that, and he ran out the ring. We can all manipulate the truth. But is Conor Benn so much of a killer in the ring that the guy that's about to go and fight Canelo can't even live with Conor Benn in a spar? Are we really going to believe that? Did he run out of the ring after 8 rounds? Or did he have to leave? Oh, I'm going to do 8 rounds, I'm leaving. Oh, he ran out after 8 rounds. No, he had somewhere to be. He only agreed to 8. Like, it doesn't mean he ran out because he was scared of getting beaten up. He had to go. But if you make it sound like that, then it sounds like that. So yesterday, I was starting to think Conor and his dad they're telling stories. Maybe there's something we should be aware of. Let me lean towards Chris. Now with this weigh-in situation, I'm now leaning back towards Conor. It's going to be interesting. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'm going to try and get this posted on the day of the fight as early as possible. But as it stands, I'm recording this on Friday evening at 7 p.m. Just about to go on air. I'm leaning towards Conor, but I'll make my decision tomorrow.